The Isekai anime that wasted its greatest idea.
Gate is one of the strangest isekais I have ever watched, and that's
Don't have
saying
any
something
idea.
because I've seen way too many at this point. And it's
Man,
not
this guy is a library.
because of the usual stuff either. It's not the weird fan service or the gross lowly character, but rather it's what the show is trying to be and how badly that ends up backfiring. Because Gate
Wait, it's bad? The show is bad?
is very clearly trying to make the JSDF look very cool. It's basically propaganda, but somehow, by trying so hard to make them look
I love propaganda. I don't like to think for myself.
cool, it ends up showing how terrible war actually is. The story begins with the mysterious Gate. Hey, that's like the title of the anime. Mysteriously appears in the middle of Japan. Soon after, a bunch of knights and goblins and other fantasy
Those guys are beautiful.
creatures start to invade Japan. But thanks to modern technology, Japan is able to repel these attackers
Thanks to CGI.
back through the gate by basically, let me check my notes here, yes, shooting them to death. But sadly, some Japanese citizens did die. And due to this, the Japanese government
This guy's so different.
decides to send the Japanese self-defense force through the gate to figure out if the world beyond it is really a big threat or not. And when the JSDF arrives over there, they find an entire fantasy world with kingdoms, dragons, and elven women. You get the gist, it's a fantasy world. Most of
And
the
they're using military clothes.
story follows Itami. He's kind of an otaku that loves the fantasy genre, with the story focusing on him and his squad and what they are going through as the JSDF tries to establish a foothold in this fantasy world. And this is where things start to get weird. Because there's this really big disconnect between what the series is
Oh, I love this. Is my favorite bird. I have to say this. I think this is a beautiful, beautiful bird.
telling and showing you versus what it wants to show you. Because the series very much tries to be very fun and playful. It's like, look, they're in a fantasy world. They're shooting at a dragon with an RPG. Isn't that so fun?
No, it's not fun. I think it's funnier when the dragon kills the the army. I always root for the dragons. You know, I love the dragons.
Look at this princess as she discovers yaoi manga and how much she loves it. Isn't that relatable? Look at these
Yeah, it's very relatable.
knights as they march on and get absolutely gunned down, and they can't do anything to defend themselves. Now the fantasy girls are going out and having a shopping spree. That seems like a lot of fun.
Wait, this anime, it's like our anime inside a one.
This is because the series has two main goals. The first one being to make serving in the JSDF look fun and cool and
Yes,
show
I
all
love
the
things
cool
that are
toys
cool.
that a JSDF soldier gets to use. And that's where the disconnect really starts, because it will show you people getting massacred, but it's played off almost like, isn't this cool? There is
Yes. No, it's not, I think.
entire episode dedicated to Itami and his squad wanting to protect this town from a bandit invasion. Things start to go wrong, and so they call in helicopter support. Now, the helicopters start to rock up, and they start playing Ride of the Valkyries. Might as well just
Wait, it's a great song.
have played Fortune Son. What proceeds to happen is we see these helicopters start to gun down
It's a great hit. I think this is the best rap album of all time.
the bandits who can do absolutely nothing against these helicopters at all. Meanwhile, one of Itami's squad mates just runs in with her bayonetta and starts stabbing people and shooting through their shields with her pistol, all with a smile on her face like she's having a blast. I understand
I think it's fun. Sometimes you need to participate of something very crazy.
that the series is trying to paint this as, isn't this awesome? Look at these helicopters and look at what they're able to do and the destruction they're able to cause, and look at her,
Yes,
she's a really
destruction.
cool close combat fighter and she's able to do all this cool CQC stuff. But the entire time I'm sitting there and I'm just like, oh, they can't defend themselves. Like, don't get me wrong, these are very bad people, but how are they supposed to defend themselves against a 50 cal machine gun that is flying in the air?
This is how we humiliate our enemies.
Combine this with all you're really hearing is
Yes.
just the bandits
Throw your knives. We have nuclear.
screaming in the background as they're getting gunned down. It's just really confusing of what I'm supposed to be feeling right now. Because this fight is entirely one-sided. It's really brutal, but that's not really the point of the scene.
This is my favorite type of battle. When one part is so much stronger than the other part.
If the main point of this scene was to show that the bandits are being massacred and that the people of this world cannot really defend themselves against the helicopters,
I like unfairness.
that would have been fine. But you don't get to just play Beethoven while you mow people down and
Wait, this is the best thing you can hear. You're not gonna hear, I don't know,
Have
Nicki Minaj during
people
this time.
smiling and laughing and being like, ah, yes, This is awesome, isn't it? Look how cool these helicopters are.
They
I mean,
are.
if that was really what you were going for, you could have used like goblins or something. You know, one of those throwaway
Goblins don't fly.
fantasy creatures that people use when they don't want to show humans being brutally murdered. No, instead you use the bandits. Overall, it's just overkill. We can clearly see that this squad really didn't need to call on these helicopters because their bullets go through their shields. Their guns can just easily wipe these people out, no problem.
It's so unfair to go to the past and shoot everybody in the face.
So what was the point in calling in the helicopters? Because there were a
They're cool. That's the point.
lot of them? Okay. Half of them are getting wiped out by the gross lolly character like in 5 seconds, so you're telling me the 5 of you can't just shoot the rest of them? But oh, don't criticize the JSDF. Don't do that, or you're the villain of the story. And that is the second goal
This is the parliament.
of the entire series, is to make the JSDF look good. So anything that they do is completely justified. If you criticize them, you are an antagonist of the series. There is a whole scene where they have to defend themselves in the diet, and the woman who is just asking questions and being like, I think the JSDF could be doing better, and why did you do this? Why was this a decision? The series paints her as a villain. She is an antagonist. She is antagonizing the good old JSDF. How dare they? And
How dare them bomb
here
us.
comes the fantasy girls, and they make her look stupid in front of the entire world. How dare she speak out against the JSDF? But the worst part of it is, because it's trying to make the JSDF look good, it throws the series' greatest strength out the window. The most interesting part about this is the what if situation. What if a modern military goes to a fantasy world? How would the people of the fantasy world react to the modern military?
I think they don't care. I think they're gonna be friends and everything's gonna be happy. I think it's a great moment for union, for family, for respect. I think it's not gonna be anything bad. I think it's gonna be a great moment of
fantasy-
bonding. It's gonna be a friendship.
People obviously have to walk this tightrope. They can't poke the bear too much or they'll just be completely wiped out. And it creates this interesting dynamic between the JSDF and the people of this world. But the series doesn't commit to this because every 5 seconds it has to beat you over the head that the JSDF are the good guys. So instead what happens is the JSDF will show the fantasy people something like mortars or tanks or something, and the fantasy people will be like, oh my god, these people could wipe us out in like a week if they really wanted to. There is nothing that we could do.
It's so sad. So weapons are stronger than magic. I'm always on the side of magic.
These people just decided that they don't need us anymore. And then the JSDF will go, oh, don't worry, buddy, old pal. We would never do that to you. We're the JSDF. We're the good guys. We would never blow you up with these mortars that we're showing off. Look how really cool these mortars are, though. And it's like, how are you going to show us that the
Yeah,
fantasy
it's a funny thing. It's just a play thing.
people of this world are terrified of the tanks and fighter jets and mortars and guns and everything like that, but then constantly go, but don't worry, the JSDF will never use this on any of you guys. And
They're gonna use it on you guys,
to show us that the
especially on you guys.
JSDF will totally use this on them if they have to. It gets so ridiculous that at one point, Itami is attacked by a knight, and the people of this fantasy world are thinking, oh my god, that's it. The treaty is done, destroyed even before we even started it. We're dead. We're going to die. He's going to tell his superiors, and he's going to get us killed. And then Itami just drops it. And I was willing to accept that. He is a pretty decent guy. The series kind of established this very early on, but then his superiors find out about it, and they just drop it entirely. They don't investigate more into it or figure out why it happened. They just go, whatever.
Yeah, that's the best attitude you can have when you are in danger, you know? Yeah. Who knows? One day we're gonna figure it. We're gonna figure that out, you know? If you don't, we just die, you know? But yeah, that's life. One day you're gonna die, so why solve problems? Why solve every problem when you know, like, we're gonna die anyway?
You attacked one
Who
of our
cares? If I need to solve them, I solve them one day. I don't fucking know.
It's okay, I guess. All the tension of these two worlds interacting and dancing this tightrope of like, oh, we're more powerful than you, and if you keep poking us, it could go very wrong for you, is just wasted. And again, the series tries to just play
like
it off as a joke. Oh, these guys are scared for their lives, but it's funny.
Like, it's the same thing that happened globally this year. I
Because they
think.
don't have to
Just people just saying, I'm gonna bomb you, I'm gonna bomb you, I'm gonna bomb you.
be, but
I
it
think this is the worst thing you can do,
doesn't come
because
off that
it's
way
like
because you're
forever.
showing them having genuine fear of what could happen to them. You're showing the destruction of these tanks and fighter jets and mortars, and then you're just playing it off like, they have nothing to worry about, when they do. And as you can imagine, when you try to
Yes, this guy can lose his gacha games.
make something look good and fun all the time, you get very important things wrong as well. For example, there is an elf girl in this series that has severe PTSD because her entire village was wiped out, and she
This is the perfect wife, you think. The elf with PTSD.
the remaining survivor, and it is presenting itself by her basically seeing her father, who is deceased, everywhere, and she's talking to him and she thinks that he's alive, and that the reason that she can't find him sometimes is because
She's schizophrenic.
he's left town. And the series kind of plays this like it's a joke a lot of times. It's like, haha, look at her,
They're laughing at this schizo girl.
she's talking to nobody. Isn't that funny? And how the series finally handles
She's
and
crazy and demented. Poor girl, she's just a sad elf.
addresses her PTSD is fucking insane. Itami goes to a doctor and goes,
Doctor, my balls died. How? I don't know, they exploded. I think I had grenades instead of balls.
Doc, if I have her get revenge on this dragon, will it get rid of her PTSD? And the doctor goes,
No, the dragon's gonna give her more PTSD. It's gonna be double PTSD.
yes. No! This is not how PTSD or trauma works, and it worked. And of
Let's
course,
call the right name. The original name, shell shock.
she shoots an
It's not PTSD, it's shell shock.
RPG
It's more edgy, I don't know.
at the dragon, and her PTSD is gone. It worked. Of course it did. I give up. But of course, if the creator is trying to make the JSDF look good and try to downplay war and combat, you also have to downplay stuff like PTSD. It can easily be treated by going to therapy. No.
Therapy?
By taking
You think they're gonna accept elves?
medication. No. By shooting an RPG.
Oh, wait.
No. By taking medication. No. By shooting
This is so romantic. They're shooting together. Man, nothing more romantic than destroying a helicopter with your wife.
an RPG at
Yes!
the thing that caused
Crazy
your
life.
trauma.
A dragon better.
First thing about all of this is that the series does actually have a lot of potential. It is a very
I think
interesting
it has all the potentials of everything. You can make every story inside of this story.
what if situation. What if a modern military went to a fantasy world? That is something unique and
It's something I
different than
think
most
every day.
of the isekais that we
There's not a day that I'm not thinking about this.
normally get. Plus, the creator Takumi Yanai is
Wait, this is the creator. Oh my god, what a cool guy. My god, I want to be this guy. This guy is a Chad. This is a true boss right here, a true gangster. This is a true boss. Come on.
actually a former JSD
Look at this guy on his side. Like like everybody's coming from the future.
soldier. So you would think that his experience would actually improve the series a lot rather than ruin the series because he's trying too hard to make the JSDF look good. And guys, if I'm being honest, I did really enjoy this show. When the show does focus on the whole political landscape of what if
I enjoy when they're shooting dragons. That's my favorite moment.
modern military went into a fantasy world and how these fantasy people would react and how not everybody would want to just bend the knee to this modern military because let's be honest, there would be some fantasy people that just aren't the sharpest tools.
I think I would not bend my knee for the military. I think I would like probably I would talk to them and ask them, do you know how to feed a special I don't know what I'm gonna ask for it.
Shit, they would just see 100 people get gunned down.
40,000 months that I'm thinking for a great wisdom to what I would do against the military, but I don't know.
In like 5 seconds to still go, nah,
Maybe I'm gonna say, okay, bro, let's go.
I think I could take it with my sword.
Okay, bro,
and
let's fight.
love that. I was like, okay, I'm loving all of this. This is great. This is awesome. And I do think it's a shame that the series just throws that away to just be propaganda. Gate is a show that tries to convince you
And this is the best seinen ever. This is a psychological anime. Teletubbies,
throws
come
that
on, man.
away to just be
I think,
propaganda. Gate
let's be honest, this is the greatest Isekai ever made. Because this guy with the hat, we know he was an office man doing his office things. And he was, maybe a raccoon sent him to an Isekai. And this is the first Isekai. This is the most intense and dark Isekai I've ever seen in my life. I respect a lot the author. I respect a lot the manga. The manga is better, to be honest.
Is a show that tries to convince you that war is controlled, fun, and honestly not that bad. But
yes, and it's right.
the more I watched it, the harder that became to believe, because underneath the propaganda, it accidentally shows exactly why war isn't any of those things. War is ugly, war is terrible and brutal. If anything,
Hey, stop shaming war.
I find it funny that
War is sad. War has feelings too. You can't say that those shit. War's gonna suffer.
despite the creator's best efforts to try and make it
I love to make those videos. Come on, it's my favorite time.
seem otherwise, it completely
I have a lot of fun doing this.
backfired and created one of the better representations of war I have seen in isekai and anime. And if you kind of look at this show with that in mind and kind of trying to ignore the propaganda, I do think Gate is a fantastic show, even if at the end of the day that
This guy's
really
crying like he's happy. Yes, I killed a lot of people.
wasn't the creator's intention. But that really is all I have to say. Now I care what you guys think. Do you guys
Yeah, I don't think. I always say this. I don't have thoughts. I don't have a brain. I don't have a body, to be honest. This is just an illusion.